So this is the problem when we have one 60-degree day, is everyone and their mother is getting a car wash right now, and we have that beauty in front of us. So I spent all that time in the car wash trying to wash my car, as you do at a car wash. I pull up, I'm waiting, there's that ricey eclipse. I finally get into the car wash, I start spraying it down. There was no soap, right? Obviously I don't use the foam brush. I use the sprayer that sprays the high pressure soap. None. Just no soap. So waste of time, but I was able to get some of the salt off, albeit not much. This video is sort of an update to the last one. You guys saw that I traded my 93 Wrangler. It was an awesome truck, car, whatever. It was 2 solid axles, call it a truck. Traded that for this very high mileage 02 Mustang, and of course I got some comments and I got some DMs calling me an idiot. I got some comments and I got some DMs calling me a genius. That's a lie, I'm just saying that to make myself feel better. This is the Mustang in question. I have had it almost a month. I got it January 16th. Today is February 12th, but I've had it, 4 days shy of a full month. Been my daily for that last month. Of course, I've driven the Prelude a little bit, and I had to drive the Prelude for a little bit, and I'll talk about that in just a second. This car has been pretty sweet. Now, I wasn't sure how much I would actually like the car. I mean, it's a manual rear-wheel drive V8, so I had like a pretty good understanding that I would enjoy it. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna talk about some of the things I don't like and everything that's broken with it. It's quite a lengthy list. I'm gonna show you guys some of the good things about the car too. I don't want this to be one big negative video where I talk trash on my newest acquisition, but it's a really nice day out. I'm wearing shorts for the first time in months. It's, like I said, it's February and it's like 60 degrees out, and I do apologize for the wind noise because I know you can hear that. Let me go ahead, let me tell you everything that's wrong with my 300,000 mile Mustang. When we go ahead and open up the hood, the first thing you will notice is actually not much is immediately wrong under the hood, which is an awesome start. As you guys can see, it does have this off-brand cold air, which makes quite a bit of noise under there, and I think that might be one of my issues, but I have to go ahead and diagnose that sound a bit further. As far as what I've already had to do under the hood to keep this thing going, well, it's typical. Now, a common issue with these Ford 4.6 modulars is that they like to spit out spark plugs. Some of the older 4.6s will actually have the spark plug get stuck in the head. Mine had quite the opposite issue. On this back cylinder, you can see there's a white coil pack. I'm standing in a puddle in my 350s. That's awesome. There's a white coil pack in there. You got to take like the intake off to go ahead and get to that coil pack. But I had the issue where that spark plug projectiled right out of the head. Now, it has been helicoiled before, and if you don't know what that means, the spark plug threads into the head right in here. And basically, when these engines are built, they're built wrong because it's a Ford, and it'll actually tear the threads right out of the head. It's a dissimilar metal. You have an aluminum head with a steel spark plug, so it corrodes, rips the threads right out, and then you're left with no compression and no spark. You have to re-thread the head. It's called a helicoil. It's a little thing with threads on the inside and outside. You tap the hole, put in this adapter, and then you put the spark plug into the adapter. And that is what I did. I put some JB Weld around the adapter where it goes into the head. The box recommended silicone. I didn't trust the silicone, so got some JB Weld. It's been treating me pretty well so far. Put a few hundred miles on since I did that repair, and no issues yet. If you guys are curious if your car is going to do this, there are some signs, some warning signs. It's not just a random occurrence. It'll start making like a ticking sound, almost like a lifter tick, like a tick, 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 tick. I revved it, it went away. It started getting a little more frequent. It went from like tick, 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 tick to like tick, 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 tick. So I went ahead, I revved it up to show my dad the sound, and well, after I revved it up, it went away completely, and then I revved it up again. It made a very loud metal snapping sound, and it lost all compression, and it started sounding pretty bad. So I had to go ahead and shut it off promptly, and it took me a few days. I think it happened on the Friday that I bought it. So I bought it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday I went to go to the gym and it shot the spark plug out. It's a very common issue on these 4.6s. Like I said, you can hear it. That ticking sound is actually the spark plug bouncing up and down against the head. Just so those 2-valve owners out there know, watch out for that sound. So with that out of the way, one of the other things I did was I did a new tensioner pulley and an idler pulley. Now there is one more idler pulley. It's a grooved pulley, and I believe that one's bad as well. It's just a little bit of a noisy front motor assembly. My power steering pump also makes some sound, but I've been ignoring it. He claims it leaks power steering fluid, and I've seen the drips when we put it on the lift. However, it hasn't left any puddles in the driveway, so I'm gonna call it good for now. I have new power steering lines at my house for it. Who cares? It runs good, it doesn't leak, so yeah. And of course, the big thing besides the spark plug shooting out of the engine that happened on my way home. I drove about 30-40 miles into Connecticut to pick this car up. As as I was crossing the Connecticut border back into good old Rhode Island, this wheel started getting real hot. That caliper seized right up. The car had been sitting for, he said, like a month or two before he had sold it to me. And when cars sit, rubber likes to freeze. It likes to get solid and crunchy, and that caliper seized right up, so it caused the brakes to overheat, started smoking, started shaking a lot. I couldn't figure out what it was because the whole drive back, beautifully smooth down the road, and then it started shaking the wheel real bad. So I knew it was something in the front end. Of course, if it was one of the rear calipers, you would have felt it in the pedal or in the seat. So that caliper seized up. That was a $250 fix because I did the caliper, both front rotors, and both sets of front pads. So front brakes work good now. I might need to bleed it again. They don't work the best. I should probably check the fluid. Okay, we have more fluid than we need, so I guess we're good in that department. So yeah, that caliper seized up. I had to do a front brake job. No biggie. Speaking of brakes, I don't have ABS or traction control. This vehicle is, of course, equipped with both ABS and traction control, so that is mildly problematic. So there are ABS sensors in all four corners. Now when I did the front brake job up here, there was little metal chunks on the sensor that'll cause it to read incorrectly. Cleaned off those metal chunks. Haven't touched the back yet. I don't know what's causing the ABS code, but with no ABS, you get no traction control, aka these rear tires aren't gonna last more than, I'd say, 2 more months. Maybe it's my lack of self-control, I don't know. Speaking of lights on the dash, this car earlier today, actually, which is great, threw a fuel cap light. It said check fuel cap. I'm like, awesome. So I read the code, it was P0457, check fuel cap, whatever, evap leak. I put a new fuel cap on and I cleared the code. This car has had a check engine light, and then I cleared it. I made it like 300 miles and it still hasn't come back on. And it was for an evap leak, which a bad fuel cap will do, but the gas cap light took that long to come on. I don't know. There's a check engine light, kind of. I just have to make sure that I can get it inspected because it's still not registered and I've been driving it everywhere, so I should probably get that taken care of. It does need some other basic maintenance. I still haven't done an oil change on it, which I usually do an oil change right before I start driving a vehicle. Like every time I buy a new vehicle, gets an oil change. This one happened to get a brake job. Same idea though. So I'm gonna call it good. I'll do the oil change when I feel like it, I guess. There's a guy over there and he was just watching me. I'm in the middle of an empty parking lot with like abandoned businesses, and he just walked out of the woods. Like he came from over there and now he's over there. I don't understand that, but hey, you know, live your life. So now that I got all of the big things that are really wrong with this car, like I said, it's the e-brake, the spark plug shot out, the caliper froze. It's been an interesting month of ownership, but it has treated me pretty well. I definitely can't complain. It's a very fun car. Now I'm going to talk about some of the things that I don't like about it, things that pretty much just come with Ford ownership, or Mustang ownership in particular, and there's quite a few things that I don't like about it. If we start off, of course, we have a 2-valve 4.6 liter V8. Sounds great. I love how this engine sounds. It sounds so, this is gonna be dumb Mustang-y. It just sounds, I think it has an H pipe in it. It's a stock exhaust from the header to the cats, or the manifold to the cats, and then it's got a MagnaFlow catback. Sounds great. The problem when you have a good sounding V8 is you get garbage fuel economy. Of course, I wanna hear this thing sing every opportunity I get, so I'm at the gas and I get about 14.8 miles per gallon. I remind you, I don't live in the city, like I live in the woods, so I get pretty bad fuel economy for someone who drives on roads that are an average of 60 miles an hour, although I don't drive too much, so I guess I have that going for me. I also just noticed a scratch on the fender, so that's cool. So yeah, horrible fuel economy. I guess I should have known that. Online it said you should get 20 to 26 miles per gallon. That is a pipe dream. That is never going to happen in this vehicle, I promise you that. I sat on my thing. Yeah, okay, yeah, while we're here, I forgot to mention this in my little list. If you sit on the key fob whatsoever, the horn goes off. Like, the buttons are very three-dimensional. They're very easy to set off. Absolutely hate it. And even if it's not the key that sets it off, like bumping into the door even the slightest bit when it's locked sets it off. Very annoying, and it's very loud, and I hate it, and it's embarrassing. I hate it. So while we're in the interior, I want to talk to you guys about something that is pretty unique to the Mustangs. A lot of other cars, especially from this year, don't have this, and that would be a cable clutch. Now of course I can't push it in without touching the brake because yeah. But with a cable clutch, it means there's no master and there's no slave. It's literally just a cable, and it's not too stiff when you get used to it. When you're not used to it and you go from a hydraulic vehicle, like my 1990 Honda Prelude has a hydraulic clutch, and then you hop in something with a cable clutch, it's pretty stiff. Not only that, this has a center force clutch, so it's got a new aftermarket clutch in it. It's a performance clutch, So it's pretty dang stiff, and I can show you guys under the hood. I can show you what that cable clutch is gonna look like. So of course you got your brake master, and these have a really weird like booster thing, but this is your clutch cable. As you can see, there's no master, there's no slave. It goes right to your throwout bearing. So very odd setup. It works really good, and it means there's less steps to fail. Much more likely that it doesn't break, and if it does, it's just gonna be a cable. It really wouldn't be too bad to replace or expensive. So on one hand, it's simple and it's safe. On the other hand, it sucks to drive because of that cable clutch. It's very stiff. I don't want to sound like I'm whining about something that I shouldn't be, but I don't hit legs enough at the gym to be driving a cable clutch. It's annoying. Now, I don't know if you'd want to call this a pro or a con to Mustang ownership, and this is going to sound so wildly pretentious that it's not even funny, but I get attention driving this car. Now, maybe it's because I drive like I want to meet Jesus, but I get a lot of attention driving this car. It's loud, it's loud. That's actually the only redeeming factor. Regardless, at the gym, I've gotten compliments on this car. Going shopping, I've gotten compliments on the car. It's not that clean. Remember, guys, this has 275,000 miles on it. It's not like I'm in a Lambo or a Ferrari or a McLaren quite yet, but I actually get compliments, which is not something I was expecting with this vehicle whatsoever. It's good because, like, you know, it boosts my ego and it makes me feel better. Like, hey, I did do a good job. I only got one compliment ever on the Jeep, and that was at McDonald's. And then, of course, everywhere I go, I almost always get someone at least mentioning the Mustang. So it's kind of cool, you know, it boosts my ego, but it is also annoying because, like, I don't want to talk to people. Although this video was mostly me complaining about things that have gone wrong, broken, or things I don't like, it's been an awesome vehicle. I can't wait to rip it around in the summer. Who knows how long I'll own this one, to be honest. I might get another. I might pro charge this one. That would be pretty sick if I got a nice Vortec pro charger, 3.33 inch pulley. Yep, that's gonna bankrupt me. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about this car or about the channel in general, be sure to drop them in the comments below. Like I said, been loving it. If you guys want to see more Mustang videos, maybe see me modifying it, I will be making a video of me installing some lowering springs in it soon. I got some Godspeed 1 3/4 inch drop springs. Those are gonna get put in. If we ever get more consistently warm days like this, I would love to throw those in. But yeah, if you guys want to see any specific Mustang content, be sure to drop it below. I will have some driving videos on this car pretty soon. Let's go ahead, let's end it with, I guess I want to say a donut. Yeah, and then I got a dip. People don't like donuts, but I do. We gotta go. There's a cop right down the road. My car is soaked and I just got it all dirty, even though I just cleaned it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, you know what to do. Oh, I gotta buckle because safety first. Oh my goodness. All right, let's rip and dip, tater chip. Let's get out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I will be doing some drifting practice in this car, but like I said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Told my brothers one day we gon' make it. We just gotta grind for that paycheck. Mama told me one day I'll be famous. Remember when she used to say she hate this. That ended with life when I say shit. Now I'm inside all them people's playlists. So one day I'll be stomping.